Hey there, I'm Tyler Lunsford and you're watching a review of JC Rodarte's Clone. Just a quick disclaimer before this video begins. Now, when I filmed this video, I had originally planned for it to go up Friday, which is why I talk like it is Friday, because it was supposed to be, but I had a few editing hiccups, and I ended up losing half the footage, and I was unable to actually film the rest of this review again until today. So I'm sorry that this is coming out. This is supposed to be the last day of Upload Crazy Week, so I apologize. I'm sorry. My computer kind of messed up. Not even my computer, it was the editing software, and it crashed. I lost all my editing, I lost half the footage, so that sucked, but I have refilmed it, and now you are going to be watching a review of Clone. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. What is up, you beautiful people? My name is Tyler Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review here on the channel. If you're new here, then definitely consider subscribing and take a look around the channel at my past reviews. Now, today we're looking at Clone. I bought this effect with my own money, so you are truly watching an unbiased magic trick review, and I would just like to thank you so much for tuning in today. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to watch one of my videos. Today is the last day of Upload Crazy Week. It is Friday. I've uploaded a video every day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now Friday. So I appreciate you watching. If you haven't seen the other videos, definitely go check them out. You can just look on the channel at my most recent videos. And if you really like to Upload Crazy Week, then definitely let me know in the comments section, because if this video gets good feedback and if you guys really did enjoy Upload Crazy Week, then I will definitely consider doing another one in the future. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. One more thing I do want to say before this review gets started is that I do have a Patreon, and I don't try to push this that way I can make money off of these reviews. I really do just use it to afford more magic that I can review, because it does get so expensive when I'm out here buying all of this magic to review. And also, if you're a patron, then there's a great chance that the trick that you request for me to review, I will review it. So I just would like to point that out. The top link in the description will take you to my Patreon, so thank you so much. Even just $2, $3 would help. It does not matter how much. I really do appreciate all the support, so thank you, and let's get into the video right now. First off, let's talk about what actually is Clone. Well, Clone is a utility device that allows you to truly duplicate signatures. Now, this is a really neat device that you're going to get here. I think that the idea behind this is really clever. I think it's really neat. Now, what you can do here is you can duplicate someone's signature. You have them sign a card, sign a bill, a receipt, something like that. It really works with like papers and stuff like that. So you have someone sign it, and then you can duplicate it. So if you want to rip up their signed card and make it reappear, which might be too perfect, but if you want to have something signed and then it reappears somewhere else, but it's not actually the same card, it's the duplicated signed card, then that's awesome. I think there's a lot of potential here, but I do think there's a few drawbacks. So keep listening to the review if you want to find out more about that. If you would like to see a performance of Clone, I will link Adam Wilbur's full performance in the description below, so you can see him use it on Penn & Teller's show. Now let's talk about what you're going to get if you decide to purchase Clone. Well, you'll be receiving this nice box right here. It's a pretty decent sized box, and inside of here is a wallet, the special marker that you need for this effect, and also the gimmicks that you need to actually duplicate the signature. Now with that, you are going to actually be receiving 20 gimmicks, so you can perform this 20 times if you use each of the gimmicks once. Now me personally, I would only use them once. That's just my opinion, because if you want to wait, then to reuse your gimmicks, well, I'll get in this more into the review later, but I would only use them once, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. How difficult is this to perform? Well, the actual duplication of the signature is not hard at all. All you're doing is putting the card or the bill that you want to be duplicated, the part where the signature's on, somewhere else, so you can actually do the duplication process. Now the hard part here is finding a way to justify that you need to take their signed card out of play, or not even out of play. You just need to justify having their signed card sit on the sidelines for a little bit while the actual signature duplication is taking place. Now what I mean by that is, in Adam Wilbur's routine, he structured it well enough so that way he had time for the signature to duplicate, and he was able to actually perform this well. If you're just going to put this in a deck of cards and then you go out and do a card trick to someone, you're going to have them sign their card, place their card on the corner of the table, and then do like another trick while the signature is actually duplicated. Is this examinable? Well, the actual card that you're duplicating, or the card that they're signing, yes, it can be examined, but to a certain extent, because when I was looking at the ink, it kind of smears sometimes, so you just got to be careful with which card you're handing them and how long it's had to dry. So is it examinable? It really just depends on how long you're letting this stuff dry, and really how is your performance, because for me, like I said, I touched it and it kind of smeared after letting it dry for a little bit, but also maybe I just didn't let it dry long enough. How is it teaching? Well, you're going to be receiving an online video with this that you can download if you would like. It's over 100 minutes long. You're going to get JC and also Adam Wilbur talking you through how to use this, their tips and tricks on storing it, and just performance tips and things like that. The tutorial video was great. The angles are okay because, like I said, you need to be able to cover the actual duplication of the signature. Now for that, you would need to keep the deck of cards close to your chest if you have a lot of people around you. Me personally, I just would feel so much more comfortable if my people were only in front of me. Is there a setup or a reset when performing clone? Yes, there is. There is a setup where you have to place the gimmick in whatever spot you want to per performance, because you have to reset the gimmick after each performance. Now the gimmick is going to take probably about a month to reset if you are talking about using it for a card. For a bill, you can probably get away with it being a little less time to reset, but for a card, you have to wait 4 weeks after this, or a month, like after this gimmick has been in use, after someone has signed a card and then you've tried to duplicate it with this gimmick. That's a long time to wait, and that's why I said just using it for one performance, then you don't have to keep up with the gimmick, and you can also just not worry about having to keep the gimmick clean or anything like that. You can just throw it away and you're done with it. Are there negatives to performing clone? Yes, there are. The fact that it takes so long for the gimmicks to reset, that's a negative in my book. The fact that you have to actually get this signature card and have it be duplicating later, like you're actually having to have this card out of view where it's duplicating for like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how well you want the signature to actually transfer to the new card or the new bill. It's a lot of time, and you have to figure out a way to justify that. Also, the marker that you use is a little weird because the ink in it kind of doesn't really look purple. It kind of has like a metallic tint to it. It is a purplish tint, but it also looks metallic. And it comes with this like barcode sticker on there, and I wish that would have been on there. If it's to make it look more normal, then that's cool, but leave it for the magician to decide if they want to put it on there. So I just wish it wouldn't have the sticker too. Are there pauses when performing clone? Yes, there are. I think the actual idea and the actual gimmick behind all this, the utility device, is awesome. Like, I love the idea behind this. It's so cool. The fact that you can actually duplicate someone's signature is really awesome. I think that if you have a way to work this into your actual performance routine, where, like I said, you can kind of have the time that it needs to work, then this is gonna kill in your show. It's gonna be awesome. But with that said, this is a really cool effect, but it all comes down to, can you actually make it work in your show? What should this retail as? Well, this currently retails as $147 US. Now that is pretty pricey for this effect, but I did read that the actual ink that is needed for this is pretty pricey, so that's really the expensive part of this. So I don't really know what I should actually say this should retail as, because I can't really make up how much it would actually cost for the supplies. But I will say that if you were going to be using this like in a show, that you can actually find if you can actually find a use for this, it's totally worth it. But if you cannot, I just bought this because I thought I was going to be able to use it and it would make a good review, because I know people want to hear about this, but I will not be really using this as much, so I don't think it's worth $147 to me, but it may be worth it to you. What would I give this out of 10? Now, I would give this a 7.5 out of 10, only because I don't see myself really using this, but if you have a place for it, then you would probably give it a higher rating because you can actually use it. But for me, since I just don't think it's as practical as I want it to be, I'm going to stick with my rating. Should you pick this up? I mean, I've already talked about the pros and cons of this, but me personally, I wouldn't pick it up if you don't have a way to fit this into your show. Now, if you don't have a way to actually misdirect your audience or do something else for 10 minutes, then you don't need this. But if you have room for it and you want to pick it up, then I totally would recommend picking it up if you can actually make it work. That about does it for this review video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help you make a more informed decision on whether or not you want to purchase cologne. If you like to, link will be down below in the description. Also in the description at the top is a link to my Patreon page. There you can help donate and you can support unbiased magic trick reviews, because I do buy most of my magic with my own money and it gets very expensive. I don't profit off of it. I just want to buy more magic so I can create more content for you people. Now, I would like to thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.